Hey, Trevon, welcome to Philadelphia, and thank you for taking the time today.
Thank you.
We'll get started here with Ed Kratz and then Zach Berman.
Hey, Trevon. Welcome to Philadelphia. I just wanted to ask you, you've probably been asked this a lot, but how surprised were you when you were not drafted? I imagine you probably thought you would be picked at some point. Was it a surprise to you? And how did you come to grips with that?
Life saying I always say is everything happens for a reason. I feel like it happened for a reason, but I'm here now. I'm an Eagle. I'm excited to get to work, and I can make my own path now. And I'm just excited just to be here.
Zach and then Paul Domowich.
Hey, Trayvon, I know Brian Johnson's not your position coach here, but you obviously worked closely with him in college. What was your background like with him, working with him? And was that something you considered at all, having a familiar face when you decided where to sign?
Being at Florida with Coach Johnson was an amazing experience. Me and him talked daily at Florida, and, the relationship hasn't changed since I've been here. I was just actually talking to him earlier. Me and his relationship is very tight, and, that bond, was a factor in wanting to come here, be closer with him, and, it's worked out well so far.
Paul and then Rob Motti.
Yeah, Trayvon, he stole my question. I was going to ask you about Brian, but tell me about your role in Florida's offense. How they used you, how you envision, yourself at this level.
In Florida's offense or this offense?
Florida's first.
In Florida's offense, I was used as a deep threat receiver, a big body receiver. So I was pretty much used as everything, as you could say. As far as this offense, I'm open-minded. I'm ready to do whatever I need to do, to make the team. Not sure what my role is, but whatever it is, I'll give 110% and do my best.
Rob and then Bo Wolf.
Hey, Trayvon, what was the post-draft process like for you, and what appealed most to you about the Eagles? It's a team that obviously invested in Devontae Smith, Jalen Reagor last year, so there's a lot of competition in the wide receiver room. What appealed to you most about coming here?
What appealed most about me coming here, one of the biggest factors, like I just talked about, is Coach Johnson. The connection with him was, like I said, amazing at Florida. Post-draft, like I said, I talked with Coach Johnson. Me and him talked, and the ultimate decision to come here was it was the best fit for me. New coaching staff, new players, and just coming in, and I felt like it was a good fit. So overall, I feel like it was a great decision, and I'm excited to be an Eagle.
Go ahead, Bo, and then Zach.
Hey, Trevon, I'll ask you about Coach Johnson again, since you guys seem to have such a close connection. What makes him a good coach? You've had a lot of good coaches. Why do you guys have a good connection?
Coach Johnson, he knows how to use his players. He puts players in positions to, be their best. He's a phenomenal coach. He's a phenomenal quarterbacks coach. Like at Florida, he was with Kyle Trask. He was phenomenal with Kyle Trask. And, he knows how to run offenses and put players, like I said, in positions to do what they're best to do. And that's what he helped me with at Florida. And, just he knows how to put players in positions to make plays. So.
Zach and then Martin.
Hey, Trayvon, you started your college career in like a loaded Ohio State offense, and then you were in a Florida offense with 2 first-round pass catchers there. How has that either helped you or shaped you as a player, kind of competing with these top players this past 5 years or 4 years?
It's helped me a lot in a very good way. Being able to play with such high-tier players has taught me maturity and the mental game. Being able to go out there and know you're playing with 2 first-rounders I was playing with, knowing you may not get the ball, but you got to make your name, your presence felt on the field somewhere else. So it's taught me a lot to be able to learn how to deal with not getting the ball every play and still having to make a name for yourself on the field. And I feel like that'll translate well to the NFL because, playing here, there's, we have Devontae Smith, Reagor, all them receivers, but there's only one ball. So how would you make yourself, how would you make your name felt on the field without the ball? And that's something that I feel like I know how to do very well.
Go ahead, Martin.
Yeah, I was going to ask kind of a similar type question. So if I could pivot a little bit. So playing with Kyle Pitts specifically, like how did that help you? I mean, just kind of like what could you learn from him? Maybe like the way he ran routes, maybe the way he ran after he caught the ball, stuff like that. I mean, that you can apply to your game.
Playing with Kyle Pitts was, nothing less than great. He helped me a lot with route running and being such a big receiver. He's a big tight end, and we both worked on, coming out of breaks, little things like that, high pointing the ball, attacking the ball in the air, using your body to block out, DBs. So we worked on a lot of things like that. Coach G also helped. Coach Billy Gonzalez, my receiver coach at Florida, also helped us with stuff like that, and I feel like that'll translate well at the next level.
We'll go to Ed Kratz next.
Hey, Trevon, being the big-bodied receiver, I'm just curious, is there any receiver that you kind of looked at in the NFL while you were coming through? And then how familiar are you with DeVonta Smith being an SEC guy?
Growing up, receiver that I've always watched growing up was Calvin Johnson. He obviously doesn't play anymore, but, he's one of the greatest receivers to do it. Big-body receiver, fast, strong. That's somebody who I idolized growing up and watched. And DeVonta Smith, I actually just started, talking to him and, getting to know him a little bit more. And he's very cool, down-to-earth, humble guy. Being his teammate is an honor, and I'm looking forward to learning things from him as a receiver.
Hey, Jamie, welcome to Philadelphia, and thank you for taking the time today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We'll get started here with Jimmy Kamsky and then Zach Berman.
Hey, Jamie, welcome, first of all. I'm sure you had a lot of interest around the league after the draft was over. Who were some of the other teams that showed interest, and why ultimately did you choose Philly?
Philly, just the relationship, my agent, Philly was the first one to reach out to me, and felt like it was a perfect fit. Loved everything, organization stood for, and was just thankful for a tremendous opportunity, very thankful for that opportunity from the Eagles organization.
Go ahead, Zach, and then Ed.
Hey, Jamie, good to meet you virtually here. What made you decide to transfer from Wake Forest and then also opt out last football season?
Yeah, after, graduating from Wake Forest, wanted to take my grad year, try to go to a pro-style offense. Just unfortunately, COVID, when COVID hit, it hit my family, hit my community a little bit harder, than others, I would say. But, it was just, at the time, it was a tough decision to make, a lot of variables. But, I just, went with what was best for me, what was best for my family, and what was best for my future.
Go ahead, Ed, and then Martin.
Hey, Jamie, welcome to Philadelphia. Just did you have many pre-draft conversations with the Eagles, leading up to the draft? And then what do you know about the quarterback situation here in Philadelphia?
Definitely met with Philadelphia down at the Senior Bowl. Had a great interview. Felt like all the guys were, all the scouts were great. And then just talking about the QB situation, I'm just, blessed, honestly. Got two guys who won at very high levels. Jalen being a national champion, Joe Flacco being a Super Bowl winner. I just want to be, have the opportunity to learn from those guys and day by day just get better as a quarterback, get better as a, professional.
Martin and Bo.
Hey, Jeremy. I want to ask you kind of more about Jalen Hurts. I don't know if you knew of him. I mean, if you knew him before and everything, and also, like, do you kind of pattern, like, the way you play, like, around his game? Like, do you see, like, similarities in the style you guys both have?
Definitely met Jalen. Definitely coming out of high school at the same time. So I met him at the Elite 11 semifinals. Always been the same guy, extremely humble, very mature, even from a young age. Just as far as, play style, I think, we have a lot of similarities. And in this QB room, I'm trying to pick up from, any of these guys, whether it be Joe, whether it be Jalen, something they each do, really well. If I could pick up on it and add it to my game, that'd just be a blessing,
Franklin.
Hey, Jamie, not to bemoan the decision to opt out last year, but was that something that teams were interested in throughout the draft process and asking you a lot of questions about?
Yeah. So funny you asked that. We got a chance to meet with 32 teams at the Senior Bowl. Every team asked, and even when I had my interviews later after the Senior Bowl, Zoom, they still wanted to ask that question one more time.
How do you feel? Like, do you think that's fair? That was a personal decision. Do you think it should affect your draft status?
Yeah, I think it's fair. Definitely just because, organizations, they're putting a lot of stock into, the quarterbacks. So, whether or not, that was a decision made, I'm just blessed for the opportunity I got here. Blessed for the opportunity I got to get my foot through the door, and I just want to learn and keep growing day by day.
Well, you just gave me that. No, you just gave me that. Yeah, that's it.
And then Paul.
Hey, Jamie, what's your early interactions been like with QB's coach, Brian Johnson, and what are you looking to accomplish in this minicamp?
Yeah, early interactions with Coach Johnson have been great. He's coming from Florida. He was great. I heard a lot from him. I had a friend down there at Florida, played quarterback, Emory Jones. So I heard a lot of good things about Coach Johnson. Then when I first met with him, it was instant connection. He's a very, very genuine guy, and he loves to teach men. So, and I'm just, extremely thankful for that. And what was your second part of the question?
What are you looking to get out of this minicamp?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get better every day. Just get comfortable in the system, get better. Just show, I can command the huddle. Just the little things every day. Day by day that makes a quarterback special.
Paul and then Ruben Frank.
Jamie, one last opt-out question. When did you start training? I mean, how did that whole process go for you? It's obviously it was weird last fall not playing football when everybody's playing. Well, not everybody. I mean, you were one of dozens and dozens of people that opted out. But how did your training go? Where did you train? That sort of thing.
Yeah. So official opt-out day was announcement was September 1st. But I had made the decision 3 days prior. So I, immediately went home with my family. Was training there with my family up until probably, I would say, the middle of September. And then I made my transition to Atlanta, where I was put on a full schedule with my quarterback coach, Quincy Avery, where we would have, meetings in the morning, meeting board session, take a quick break, grab breakfast, go throw, work on skill sharpening, accuracy drops, any of that. And then we would take a quick lunch break, and then I would go get my strength and conditioning in. Whether that days be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, be lateral days, Tuesday and Thursday, opposite. So just taking that 5 days out the week and crushing that all throughout that September, probably mid-September all the way through December until I transitioned into my, combine training down at Pensacola, Florida.
A quick follow. Well, you worked with Quincy. I know Jalen did too. Did you guys cross paths at all?
Yeah. So last year when Jalen was going through the process, I actually had the opportunity, to get a workout or two with him, and just see how he, approached the whole thing. Like I said, he's very mature, very professional, and so right there, that was already a learning experience right there from Jalen.
All right, we have time for a couple more, so we'll go Rube, Zach, and then John.
Hey, welcome to Philadelphia. I was just wondering how much you missed football over the last year. Obviously, you were practicing and working out, but just the competition, the game days, and all that. And also, it's an unusual situation because there's only 2 other quarterbacks on the roster. How much of a factor that was to coming here as well? Thank you.
Yeah, I'm just excited to be back in football. Just being in the full realm of it. Just being in that locker room camaraderie you get. The energy you get from the guys. You spend time with. Connecting, and then of course just the love of the game. You put so much time and effort into studying the game, trying to perfect your craft, and then just having an opportunity to just go out there and try to get better. Whether that be 1% better at anything you focus on for the day. The situation, like I said, Philly, I'm extremely thankful for the opportunity for this organization gave me. And so the opportunity was a no-brainer for me.
Thank you.
Head Zach.
Hey, Jamie, you've essentially had one season as a full-time starter. So you're probably viewed as a developmental quarterback. Where does most of your development need to come to kind of get to where you want to go in the league?
Definitely just mental. Just learning more about ball. There's always more ball you can learn as a quarterback, especially me coming from RPO based, vertical read based offense. There's so many things that I can learn. Just from being in this system, being in a full practice. It's just all things that I can learn from and grow. Gradually, and that's what I'm trying to do every day. Just trying to get better at 1%.
Okay, last question here with John.
Hey, Jamie. I just wanted to follow up a little bit on you working with Quincy, and obviously Jalen was there. Curious if you can expound a little bit on how much you guys work together, if Quincy just kind of works with people one at a time, how all that kind of worked out.
Yeah. So, it was, I worked out with him probably twice during his pre-draft process, just on a couple of days where they were like, it's okay for you to squeeze in, because when that pre-draft process, they were one-on-one, Quincy was fully devoted to Jalen, trying to get him prepared for the next level. So whenever, I would hit Quincy, if there's any session that I could squeeze into, just to learn, from, Quincy and Jalen as well. And so I probably got into like 2 of those sessions with Jalen. And
Thanks, Jamie.
thank you.
All right. Thank you for your time, Jamie.